What's good, y'all? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Petey Mac. Man, get on up here. Pull you up one, light you up one, kick your shoes off. Relax, baby. You around family. We on the porch. It's Pete McCorvey's Porch Talk. Let's do this.
What's good, family? This your country cousin Pete McCorvey, a.k.a. Peter Mac. Welcome back to the porch. Yes, you back with your country cousin, as I've been halfway calling myself some of the time. We back again for another edition. Didn't really get to hear no new music this week. Didn't find anything new. LaRussell released another album. I swear that man pumped out more albums then crack was booming in like Harlem back in '86, man. I mean, proud of him. Everything he dropped is quality, but he be dropping a lot of music. I wonder when that boy ever sleep, man. But he definitely putting on for the Bay. He showing what hustle do, and I can't hate that, man. Really can't. Sports. Oh my goodness. So March Madness ended, but it didn't quite end the way I thought it was going to end. So we had the Final Four. In the Final Four, we had Auburn, Florida, Houston, and my beloved Duke Blue Devils. Well, Duke did not pull it out like I thought they were going to, and I'm not even mad because I know my Blue Devils, and they do this every year in the tournament. They'll play great ball all season, all regular season, dog walk everybody in the ACC tournament, breeze through the round of 64, breeze through the round of 32. And then around about the Sweet 16, Elite 8, or the Final Four, something that happened, and they'll act like they never played a damn game of basketball in their life. And that is what happened to them in the semifinal game of the Final Four with the Houston Cougars. It was a close game, a good game. It's an instant classic in my book, but it was just, I don't know what in God's name was happening to him. Shout out to Cooper Flagg. Cooper Flagg held it down. He's put up like 25 points, but the man can only do so much by himself. Zion James, they was locking him up for River. He couldn't really get off like he wanted to. And Tyrese Proctor, I don't know what was going on with him. He couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat in that game. He was ice cold. He looked like John Starks in the 94 NBA Finals against the Houston Rockets. He couldn't get shit to fall. It looked bad. A couple of them plays looked questionable. He looked like Tony on Blue Chips when he shaved them points. I was sitting there looking at him thinking to some of my friends who was making fun of Duke and all that, I was like, shut up. Proctor was my guy. He was my guy. Now, if you've seen Blue Chips, you know where that came from. That's when that coach had to go off on the assistant coach had to go off on the other assistant coach who kept talking shit. Hey, when he was like, Tony was my guy. He was my guy. Hey, that coach was ready to stand on business by Tony. He wasn't playing. He didn't even want to believe it. Y'all saw that look in his eye if you seen Blue Chips? That just look or just like, I ain't trying to hit nothing. He's like, no way. No way. He ain't do this. He a good kid, man. And the other coach named was Freddie. Kept on messing with me. Said, look at that shot. Look at it. Matt bad pass. That man turned around and said, shut up, Freddie. He was ready to crash out. That used to be one of my favorite lines. I used to say that to all my friends. Like, they kept poking at me by something like, shut up, Freddie. I had to be careful, though. I got an Uncle Freddie, so if he was in the vicinity, I had to be careful. My Uncle Freddie from New Orleans, he don't play that shit. You know what I'm saying? He a true New Orleans, St. Jefferson Parish nigga. He ain't going for none of that. Like, even though I wasn't talking to him, if I said it, yeah, he'll knock all that shit over. So I had to make sure Unc went in the vicinity for any of that. But this is what got me about Duke losing. It wasn't even the bad shots. You know, when they couldn't get off or anything. Two things that pissed me off about Duke losing. Number one was they were up by 6 points with 1:14 left to go. I don't understand why they were trying to go for a quick shot. It's a 2-possession game, 1:14. And I think it was like a maybe 5-10 second differential from the shot clock. 4-corner it, work for a high percentage shot. They waited till they got right across the timeline. Passed it off. Tried to shoot it like a little 15-footer. Came off the rim. And Houston rebounded the ball. Brought it back down. Popped one in. And it was just, I couldn't even believe it watching. I'm like, you got the lead and time is on your side. Run the clock down. If anything, wait for that good shot. Put it up. Or if you run it out, they realize you've been right. You can potentially get fired, go to the line, push it out further. And then the last thing that pissed me off about them was the fact that they couldn't inbound the ball when they got the ball back and they wanted to inbound it. They didn't have couldn't inbound the ball. At that point in the season, at that level of ball, how the hell does John Shire not have anything in his repertoire for an inbounds pass? Like I said once before, Duke gets to the tournament, act like they've never played a game of basketball in their life. That's why I said, as a true Blue Devils fan, I'm always shocked when I hear that they go to the national title. It never fails. But good season for Duke. John Shire, he probably has secured his job for a long time. He's probably going to be the next Coach K for them. Because it's a matter of time. He's going to get one. It's a matter of time for John Shire. Gets a ring. And also that made me mad about that game. That last foul they called on Cooper Flagg. I don't believe that was no foul. That was no foul. That was a bogus call. But here's the thing. You put it into the hands of the ref. So that's your fault for putting it down into the hands of the ref. Like I said, that was a good win for the Houston Cougars. LJ Crowder, that boy was a dog in that game. He was a dog. Him and Juwan Roberts, them boys was dogs. They was dogs in that game. And also them two dudes that they had playing when they was 35 years old, worked second shift down at the local plant, had 2 kids and a wife at home. So, yeah, you had to, it was what it was. But like I said, Coach Kelvin Sampson, he just out-coached John Shire. And you can't be mad. Now, what did piss me off for Houston was the fact that Hakeem Olajuwon was courtside, went to go celebrate with him, and one of the people working the event stopped him like, you can't go on the court. And Hakeem Olajuwon kind of looked around like, motherfucker, you serious? Do you know I am? Like, bro, that is Phi Slammer Jammer. He is one of the reasons that Houston Cougar basketball got put on the map. So, I'm pretty sure whoever that dude supervisor would have tried to hold him back, they was like, you know who the fuck you was you told to go sit down? That is Hakeem the Dream. 2-time NBA champion and Hall of Famer. Naismith Basketball Hall of Famer. I don't understand what was going on, but I'm going to be honest with you. I wasn't even bitter towards Houston winning because I'm like, well, you didn't got past my Blue Devils. I want to see y'all take one because Houston needs that. They need to avenge Phi Slammer Jammer, who went 3 times to the Final Four in the 80s. But unfortunately, Houston ended up looking like Duke 2 nights later and ended up losing 63-65 to the Florida Gators. I don't know about y'all because, I mean, I've been working a lot. don't really watch sports like I used to. I'm not a sports fanatic like I used to be when I was a kid. But nowhere at the top of this season did I expect to see the Florida Gators hoisting up the Division I Men's Championship basketball trophy. I just didn't see that. My heart was also broken the night before because Coach Don Staley and her South Carolina Lady Gamecocks got the dogs, walked with them against the UConn Lady Huskies, 82-59. But I'm saying she was going up against Gino Auriemma. So, I mean, the man got, between 1995 to now, the man got 12 national championships. I think he got a couple of Olympic rings, too, you know, Olympic gold medals and all that, too. So the man just, she was going up against a giant. So it was nothing bad on what happened. It's just, I'm mad at people because they saw her getting emotional on the sideline. Like, it's one video they show her, you don't hear, but you can clearly hear her going, fuck! And she getting mad and crying, and I hate to see, because that's our coach, and that's my coach. If you understand what I mean by our coach and my coach. If you know, you know. So to see that happen and see her break down like that, that broke my heart. And everybody's going on the, oh, look at it, she ain't, look at her, there's no use for that type of attitude, that type of language being said. And I go back to what I said in a previous episode about when people got mad at Kim Mulkey for what she said at the post-game press conference when her LSU Lady Tigers got put out. I don't know where y'all get this double standard. They have to be classy and not show emotion like that when we have seen Bobby Knight, among other people, just throw straight temper tantrum. Hell, Jim Boeheim of Syracuse, he got a meme where he's sitting there like throwing his fist down, tying the air, like, get the fuck out of here with that call. I don't understand why y'all holding these women to a high standard, but like I said before, that's that sexy shit y'all doing. I don't know why you think somebody whose whole life, heart and soul is put into this game, their job, you're mad and film for showing how passionate they are about it when they come up short. So, Coach Staley, I'm still riding with you. Hopefully you'll be back next year. And everybody acting like that. And most of the people who are happy that she lost, you know what they look like. You know what their physical appearance looks like. What's understood don't need to be said. But for the lady to have won 3 national titles in 4 years, hell, last year her team was undefeated. I don't know why y'all trying to say she is overrated and all that. I don't. She need to do like I Red Bayou did on Waterboy at that pep rally that the Mud Dogs had. When everybody, you ain't this and yet, she need to go up to him and say, you ever seen that championship ring? And flex her ring and look at him. Don't be messing with the champ. Fortunately, she can't do that this year. That belongs to Gino and his UConn Lady Huskies. But yeah, that was a hard one. That was a hard one to see. But you know, now we're on the baseball season, and the Braves finally on the board. They got 2 wins. Yay, Braves! Now you're 2-9. Whoop-de-doo. Let me get off of that and go on over to my shows. I'm gonna talk about my shows. This past week's episodes of Raising Kanan and The Rookie, great episodes. Oh, those were some great episodes. The Rookie, they brought Miles Penn back. Y'all know that's the black dude from Texas. They brought him back. He had an episode. He was kind of the focus. So Starts the episode off, him and Tim out, doing regular police business. He runs into one of his former teammates, who's now playing for the LA Chargers. I was about to say San Diego Chargers. That still sound weird. I gotta forgive me because I grew up. First 29, 30 years of my life, they were the San Diego Chargers. So LA Chargers, that's still kind of new. Anyway, his former teammate, AJ Knox, pulls up, flies like Lamborghini. He sees him, greet him. He ain't trying to, throw in his face that he's successful now in the NFL. He invites Miles to a party later on. And when he invites Miles to a party, Miles comes through. He comes to the door. They have him saying some silly-ass Texas shit that they have him saying. He was like, I ain't got nothing but this piece on my hip and love and enjoying my soul. Oh, come on, who the fuck says that? But anyway, he coming there, partying, having a good time. He meets AJ's gopher or his personal trainer, Sean. Later on in the party, he sees Sean palming some of AJ's jewelry. And he kind of raised a red flag. He's like, hey, does he know you doing it? He said he let me have some, he let me borrow. And he's like, he let them borrow that stuff around there. Because the dude had a couple of chains and stuff around his neck. And Sean, of course, insults him about being a cop and whatnot. But AJ was a real one. AJ had set up a interview with Sports Center. And he brought Miles on. He was like, hey, this is the guy who had my back in the backfield, keeping defenders off me. Should be it, but now he's working for the LAPD, which I thought that was going to make Tim mad. Because, man, you just blew up yourself online. So now all these criminals throughout the city could probably see. But nothing became of that. It was just something for Miles to reflect on what could have been his life and whatnot. Meanwhile, Nolan and his wife, they're trying to, his wife Riley, they're trying to adopt, but something happened, or somebody arrested. He's put up billboards about Nolan, trying to say he's a dirty cop or whatnot, and Nolan is trying to fight against that to have that taken down, to keep the lady from the adoption agency from seeing that, because that is going to ruin their chances of trying to adopt. And at first, everybody in the group wasn't really thinking too much about it until now. Later, something goes up about Nyla. She's on the billboard, as well as Angela's on the billboard, and I think Lucy is up on the billboard too. And unfortunately, ultimately, because of that, that made the lady from the adoption agency dig further into things that go on between Riley, because she's a firefighter, and Nolan, he's a cop, and they tell about some of the stuff he's done, some of the cases they've been in past episodes, and she denies the poor people. She's like, y'all in too much danger for us to try to entrust a child to y'all care. Very heartbreaking. And y'all remember, so two people pop back up in this episode, and they, I wish they'd go back somewhere. So y'all remember last week when I asked about what happened to Rachel? Well, Rachel popped back up. And the way they had her pop back up was trash. They had her pop back up. Somehow she forgot a way to go to the party that, Miles had went to for AJ at his mansion. She's drunk off her ass. Miles sees her. He's trying to get her to leave. She doesn't want to leave. She wants to get drunk and this, that, and the third, stay drunk. So Miles calls up Lucy and let her know, hey, I see your friend over here. She's messed up. I don't mean to bother you. Lucy jumps up and goes. Selena jumps up and goes to back up Lucy. But she jumped up because Selena's boyfriend, Roger, I remember the cop cutie dude, pretty much then halfway moved into their apartment. He done set up his studio and all that. And he tags along with him. Like, this guy is, he's becoming an annoying character. He needs to go. I don't see Selena liking a dude like that. Just, ugh. So they get there. And this is when the episode gets juicy. So, in the beginning of the episode, there was an explosion that happened. Like, somebody tried to blow up something. And come to find out it's connected with AJ because AJ's trainer, Sean, the one that was palming his jewelry, he got into a bad way with some people he owes a lot of money. So he was trying to just basically make it look like a home invasion. These worked with the people that was doing that. And they trying to throw people out track, and they trying to do a home invasion where they can get what they need so old boy can get out of debt. So they're taking care of that. Miles ends up subduing Sean in the pool that AJ had in his house, which they made a funny statement. They like, damn, he got a pool outside and a pool in his house. He subdues him, and there's the two assailants that were like blew stuff up and had gotten to shoot out with Selena and Lucy and Miles. They come outside. The rest of LAPD comes out and apprehends them. Now after this, we see Lucy talk to Rachel, like, what's going on? Why she did so? Well, I lost my dad, and it just her. I'm like, okay, that was crappy. That's cheesy. Like, yeah, I understand you hurting, but this is girl, stop. Bye. Get out of here. So that was a bad way for them to bring her back. They could just left her ass gone for the season. We ain't need her. But what stuck out to me about that whole thing is, after that happens, we go back to AJ and Miles. And Miles was telling him, like, man, you need to watch it with those type of people, man. He said, those type of people. He said, you just got all these people around you, man. They don't got your best interests at heart. They just hangers on and all that. And AJ said one of the saddest things. He talks about how he was younger. His mom would always be gone. So he really didn't have nobody to really kick it with. He was in his apartment all by himself. He said when he had money, he was going to have a nice house. He was going to be rich. And everybody wanted to be around him all the time. I just like having people around me. And that kind of broke my heart. Because growing up, I knew that feeling. You know, I always wanted to just be like, have people around and all that. Just be like, have people want like my presence and all that. Never really got it. But now that I'm older, if you ain't in my circle, I don't really want you around because more people bring more bullshit. But I can feel where he was coming from as a young man. I felt that, you know, I'd like to have people around me, and it made me feel good about myself to know that my presence mattered. And then Miles talking to him, and then AJ said something that was funny. AJ was like, well, I got $100 million from these people. I know that I can't spend that in 2 lifetimes. Somebody need to show that brother the 30 for 30 they did called Broke. Because, yeah, bro, you can definitely run through $100 million, especially if you got all them people around your ass. But this is where the episode got interesting to me. AJ wanted to bring Miles on as his personal head of security, $300K starting that. Miles thought about it. And then AJ told him to sleep on it. He goes to talk to Tim. Tim hit him with, oh man, you're a good cop and all this. And he's like, you pretty much be a gopher and all this, that, and the third. And then he tells AJ, when he comes back around about his offer, and he's like, no, I'm going to stay here, man. I'm going to do this. And they just say, it's good you find your place. Now, to me, that's cool you find your place, but that's bullshit. You got $300,000 flat working for an NFL all-star quarterback. But you're going to turn that down to work for the LAPD, and you still staying in your car. I'm sorry, I'm taking the $300K and getting the hell out of my car, give me a nice little apartment somewhere. You feel me? Like, nah, I didn't. I get it, but no. No, I wasn't fucking with that. Not at all. So this episode was like pretty good, except for, like I said, Rachel, Raj, and it was one other thing they did. So y'all know a couple episodes ago, Nyla and her husband James, they started like this cop and community outreach like little coalition. So they was talking about all the cops they had there in the different divisions they had, and they mentioned that Thorson had started his little branch out of North Hollywood. But Thorson wasn't present. Why did you even mention Thorson if he wasn't going to be present? You know, yeah, you just left him out. But like I said, it was a good episode. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, Raising Kanan is getting juicy too. Oh my goodness. So start off with Lou, because it opens up with like a memorial to fame. And so they had a memorial to fame at the bar. Fame's sister Jessica popped back up. And you know that was Lou little Spanish fly right there. So you know old feelings come back. Lou in the studio one day. She comes over, talk to him, and they get it back in. Hey, which I feel Lucas, hey man, them Latin women, boy, ooh, that's a drug, boy. They hard to shake. Unfortunately, that backfired for him because Imani came to the studio, found her necklace that had fell off. That mean, like, so the necklace came off. That mean Lou must have been knocking fire from her. And he in hot water with Imani. He goes to take the necklace back to her. Jessica thanking him for a great time. And she tries to get him to go to LA, but he doesn't. And and Lou is having a problem with B Rilla. B Rilla like kind of jumped in his face when he was telling him you need to make your music more real and give it more flair, give it more punchlines and all that. And B Rilla talking about some, man, I got shit to do. I got people to feed. You trying to talk about these allegories and metaphors. I ain't got time for all that. And then they get into it. B Rilla put his hands on Lou, and Lou said, I'm going to get up out of here. He said, if I do something, I'm going to regret. Because he don't know that Lou is a killer. Cold-blooded killer. Jump over to, like, Lou and his mother try to come recruit him to euthanize her like she did Marv. And he's like, I can't do that. He said, because if I do that, he said, I ain't afraid of what's going to do to you. He said, I'm afraid of what it's going to do to me. Which is kind of crazy because Lou is a killer. But he didn't want to do it. Unique then got back right. Unique back looking like how he looked. Unique went, got fitted for his suits and everything. Got him a milky white Beamer. Got all the jewels back on him and everything. Got the hoop back in. He back in effect, baby. He finally got the Italians from Jersey to back him. Yeah, he back like he ain't never left. Kanan and Juke, they go on their little mission to find out who killed Fame. They got the false info about who killed Fame, a little crew from around their way. Before that happened, we see Juke, she target practice and everything in the warehouse. And I like what they did. They foreshadowed, because now they got it with like the two little braids that Anika Nani Rose had in the original Power when she played her. So now they foreshadowed she becoming a jukebox that we know. So the gun she was target practicing with Marv's gun. So Marv, she comes back home. Marv like, I see my gun gone. He's like, yo man, what's going on with you? Like, this, he's messing with you and it's not right. He's like, I don't want you to end up like me. He said, this shit ain't good. And whoop de whoop de whoop. And then she's like, well, I'm a part of you and you a part of me. However you want to take it. This was in me. She's like, this ain't the army. This was in me from you. So shout out to Marv for not wanting to go down the wrong path, but it's like ain't nothing he can do. But they end up cornering. So Kanan and Juke end up cornering the crew that was supposedly said to be all famous. And she ready to give them boys the business. But they sitting there telling her, we didn't do nothing. We ain't do it. We wouldn't have done this and that. And Kanan, he's actually looking like, no, they ain't lying. Because, like, Juke put the gun to one of their head. One of them dudes had a Baltimore accent I couldn't stand. He said it was Eves. I'm like, okay, so we can't see this boy from Baltimore. And as he putting the gun in his head, he still, like, telling you, like, you was gonna sit there and lie with a gun in your head, nigga? And then, like, Kanan was like, nah, they telling the truth. This ain't, we need to back down. And the cops was on their way. You heard the sirens in the back. And Juke was like, she said real menacing in his face. She's like, we gonna come back. And if you ain't telling the truth, and she said, like, real quiet, I'm offing your family, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna off you. I'm like, oh yeah. This is Jukebox coming in full effect. Now, like, she starting to get there. Yeah, she's really starting to get to what we saw in the OG series. But the piece of resistance for me was at the end of the episode when Raquel came home and saw Unique sitting in her kitchen eating that ice cream. The look on Rock's face, I've never seen Rock have fear in her eyes like she did. She always fearless, always tough, but boy, she looked like she saw a ghost. Pun intended. You see what I'm saying? Ghost. Pun intended. Power. Y'all see that? Y'all like I did that, right? Yeah. I've never seen her with that look on her face, so it's juicy. It's getting good. Yeah, I done covered everything I want to cover. About to get up out. Before I get out of here, there's one last thing I want to talk about. So I've been seeing online this past week the movie One of Them Days that I talked to y'all about that stars Keke Palmer and SZA. A lot of people are dogging it. A lot of people saying it's not a good representation of us as black people. It's stereotypical. It just showed the struggle, this, that, and the third. And I just want to say that to all them people saying this about this movie. Y'all better not never ever watch next Friday after next, Booty Call, Players Club. Don't be a minute. Y'all better not never watch none of them damn movies ever again. If y'all this high on y'all high horse about it, don't watch none of them movies no more. Cause now all of a sudden you was laughing at them movies for 20 damn near 30 years. But now all of a sudden you're on your high horse. You don't like how you represent it. So it's bad to see these girls trying to make rent and all that. But it's not bad that a dude got fired from his job, gets high, and in the next two movies, he a stoner and a slacker. Y'all wasn't mad about that. Y'all wasn't mad about seeing young black women stripping. You weren't mad about seeing these dudes doing all this crazy shit to try to get laid in Booty Call. But this is the line for y'all. Y'all woke people and all that, man. I say this just like I say about the woke people. All the time, you damn woke people. Take y'all ass back to sleep. For real. God, y'all so annoying. Anyway, that's been my time, man. You can find me on social media, on Facebook. Type in my name as you see it. You can find me on Instagram, PDMac10, PETYMAC10. Or you can find me on TikTok, PDMac89. Same as the Instagram. Just drop the 1 to 0 and put the 8 and 9. Until next week, y'all be cool, stay calm, and get paid. Peace.